Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yeah! So for today's reading, we're doing how are people perceiving your switch up? And we have here three beautiful pals, pal number 1 and pal number 2. Shout out to Princess Michaela for the idea, okay? Their last reading inspired me to do this reading myself because I just really love the topic. Please pause the video if needed. Let's go. So for my viewers that picked pile number 1, let's find out how are people perceiving your switch up. And I know that deep sigh, like, oh my God, that deep breath, like, ugh. Like, what is it now, Jaylene? What is it with people around me? Like, what's up? Pile number 1, people are perceiving your switch up to be an attack. I see someone here going into work and and just confusing people for the day. I feel like pile number 1, you're almost like tired of being this person in front of others that you're not. And I don't know how to explain it, but like one thing is coming into my head. One thing is coming into my head, guys. And I come from a Hispanic family. And one of my irks, I just hate it. I don't know, like, Hispanic people have a bad habit. It's not a bad habit. It's just like a way of showing love and appreciation. When they come into the room, if you come into any Hispanic room, you're supposed to kiss everyone on the cheek and give them a hug. I hate that shit. I hate it. I hate it. And honestly, with my own family, you know, they're all over the place. So when it comes to my family, I just walk into the room. What's up? Hey, what's going on, bitches? You know, hello. I don't gotta do all that. But like, let's say if I'm going to a family member's other party or another Hispanic family's party or a gathering or something, it's just very uncomfortable for me. It's very, like, I just have a lot of anxiety. I just don't like people touching me. I, like, honestly, and you guys are like, Kaylee, what the hell? Like, oh my God. No, I really don't. I don't like people touching me. I just don't. I don't. I don't like touching other people. Like, for me, my touch, like, I love receiving hugs from kids. Like, I don't play about the kids. I'll hug any kid. I'll hug any kid. I love kids. But grown people, I just, like, of course, guys, I'm not walking into someone's house or somewhere where there's people and not introduce myself or say hi. No. I would appreciate it if everything in the world was just like, you know, hey everyone, how's it going? But no, Hispanics, you gotta go to one by one, you gotta go to person per person. Hug and kiss, hug and kiss, hug and kiss. And it's irritating and I hate it. And if you don't do it to someone or you skip someone, that person will feel away. That person will feel away. I actually had an incident at my baby shower where I didn't say hi to someone properly. And they literally were like trying to they were out to get me the whole party, guys. I swear to God. And no, but I know that person is a lunatic, but moral of the story is there's something that has to do with your social standards that you're no longer doing. Whether it's arranged marriage, whether it's, you know, covering up, whether it's things to do with cosmetics, the people you date, anything that there is like some sort of controlling around it, you don't like it. And again, that's the best example that I could get, because as a Hispanic person, I am very kind. I love giving back. I'm respectful. I say hi everywhere I go. I even say hi, even if I'm going to the store, even if I don't know you, I'm saying hi, good morning. But the whole touchy, huggy, kissy thing, I hate it. Like, I really do. I don't even hug my grandma. And I'm not even trying to sound like a horrible person, but that's the reality of it. So when I have to be in these situations, I'd rather not go. Hey, I'd rather not go. I'd rather not go. If I have to hug and kiss everybody, if I know I have to go somewhere where I have to hug and kiss everybody, I'm going to dread it. I'm going to dread it. And then the worst part is, I could walk into the room and say hi the way I like it, but then the energy shifts. And then it's just weird. It's a weird vibe. And then people take it sometimes to heart, especially when you're like popping. If you don't do all that, like, oh my God, like, get away. Anyways, I'm sorry guys for going into circles about this, but anyways, I'll just look rude, guys. Like, I have a culture that if you just don't hug everyone, you just look like a rude, stuck up bitch. And honestly, that's gonna be one of my New Year resolutions, to keep that boundary. Like, keep it. And listen, there is people in my life that I dearly love. Like, yes, I hug my grandma, but not like every time I see her. You know what I mean? Like, there is gonna be people that I haven't seen in years that I will see them and I will love to give them a hug and a kiss, but not every time I see you. Like, every other weekend, I have to give you a hug and a kiss. It's just irritating. Hi, like, bye. Anyways, oh my God. I just spent 9 minutes talking about this. Okay, let me get back to it. A lot of you guys are just like rebels in a way. And not in a bad way, like, oh my God, F my mom. No. Like, you're a rebel in a way where you're not gonna let life tell you how to live your life. Like, you're not gonna let people dictate your life, because you know how much, or not how much, but like how wicked the world could really be. And I can say this as someone that used to be a people pleaser and someone that wanted to be accepted by everyone, that you will never be accepted. You will never be enough. You will never be perfect. So be enough for yourself, be perfect for yourself, and create the perfect life that you want to live. Because at the end of the day, if you want to keep up with the Joneses, and you want to live to show other people how your life is, it's just going to be an unending cycle of sadness for you. Because the moment you realize that nobody really gives a F, and when it really comes down to it, when you really, really, really need the support, you won't find it. Because you've created audiences of people that don't know who you really are. And on top of that, you know, again, people just don't care. A lot of people might think that, you know, people really care about what they do with their lives, but if only you knew that people have their own problems. A lot of people are not sitting around, you know, thinking about the choice you made 2 Tuesdays ago. You know, people got bills to pay, people got things to think about. Of course, some people are bored and they're not gonna know what to talk about, and yeah, they might like just have time to talk-ish, but for the most part not. Now let me just pick up the tarot, because it's 12 minutes and I've just been babbling. Okay, so your switch up is real. 8 of Swords here. No, 6 of Swords, I'm sorry, 8 of Swords. Sorry guys, no, I have not drank today. People are perceiving your switch up as the end of it all. Okay, it's like a farewell. You could have switched up on people that you could have respected in the past, or like really thought highly of, or like you felt like you had to like prove something to them. But then you realize that those people never really wanted to see you do good or do better or just anything. These were not people that were willing to see you elevate, but more people that were waiting for you to fall and like embarrass yourself in a way. That's what I'm really getting here, guys. Like, people just waiting on your downfall Yo, my earring just fell. That's ghetto. But honestly, guys, like, I just feel like you were surrounded by maybe people that you thought were a good time or good people, or people that you wanted to be accepted by, but then you realized that they weren't your clan. They weren't on your side. It's almost like they weren't laughing with you. They were laughing at you. And the beauty of it all, though, is the fact that you're willing to see that. And you're not willing to repeat the same mistakes by letting people like that back into your life. So that's perfect. Now, let's see here. How are people perceiving my pile number? Did my card fall? Yeah, it did. We have here the Temperance. So your switch up is inevitable. Inevitable. Because the switch up itself is a balance of power. It's a balance in the situation. You see, there was an imbalance for the Palo Santo be. Anyways, there was a imbalance in the way that you were not being perceived, but an imbalance of acceptance and love. This could have been a situation with some coworkers, some friends that you grew up with. I'm also getting family for some viewers here. Doesn't have to resonate. But your switch up is almost feeling like it was bound to happen, or it's something that, finally they opened their eyes about it, I feel really bad for you, because I feel like sometimes you be in these situations where you feel like you're just so clueless about what's really happening around you. And I'm here to let you know that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Someone like me literally found out 2-3 months ago that I was around someone that did not like me. I was around someone that did not like me. And you know how embarrassed and pathetic I felt? And like a loser? And like, how dare I sit here and speak to people about tarot and, give sisterly advice when I was just surrounded by someone that didn't like me and I didn't notice the signs. I don't know if it's me, but maybe you relate to this. But in the past, because I'm saying the past, I don't care if that was a year ago. It's in the past. I'm a laugh it off type of person. I'm a very laugh it off type of person. And it has been me in the butt. Because people don't take people like that serious. Because you're laughing at everything. They don't think they'll ever be checked. They don't think that you'll ever, take their attacks seriously. And that's what happened. The person spent a year attacking me and I was laughing it off. Up until the person started liking me because they genuinely saw who I was. But then they told me, hey, yeah, I spoke shit about you that time. I just judged too quickly. I just didn't know you. And everything came falling in my head, guys. Like Chicken Little. Like Chicken Little, everything came falling into my head because I was like, so this whole time, I was just being humiliated. The person then went on to tell me, confess to me that they were, in fact, talking shit about me with somebody. And, for me to forgive them because, just shrug it off. That was last year. That's when I didn't really know you. I didn't really like you. And I was just like, but I did like you. And I was being genuine. And I was being honest. And I was being me. And then it made me feel bad for that version of myself, that past version of myself that was just being myself, that just wanted a friend, that just, wanted a genuine connection, whatever. Not a friend, because I have a lot of friends, guys, but it's just like, you know, I let that person in my bubble, and I didn't know that they didn't really like me like that. But hey, guys, now I know the signs. But that's why I can't feel so bad, because it's like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for the experience of dealing with somebody like you. Thank you. Now I know next time when someone doesn't like me, you know, and hey, some people here might be like, well, you know, be thankful for their honesty. I mean, I could be thankful for their honesty, but then I'm not thankful for their treatment. Because now I have to sit back and think about all the times where I was genuinely being mistreated and took it as a joke. And then poor me. You know, poor me that was being a real person. You get what I mean? So you could have went through something similar, but maybe you went through something that was like more hurtful. You could have went through something more hurtful in a way where maybe you found stuff out like through messages or anything. In this situation, this person confessed it to me. And guys, don't ask me if I don't talk to them anymore. You know, they're just there now, but I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was hurt for weeks about the situation, because I was just like, anyways, let me just stop. But yeah, guys, it's just very hurtful when you're like being your true self and then you find out that people like hate you. So yeah, I was very embarrassed, and I'm not gonna say I'm an ego-driven person, but my pride, and I'm not a very prideful person, but I was just like, for my own respect, I need to remove myself from what just hurt me. And not because I'm taking it personal, now I hate the person, no. It's just like, I have to just take the time to heal, but I cannot heal where I've just been hurt. You know what I mean? So it's nothing personal with that person. It's just like a little story and a little like shocker thing here. So people are perceiving your switch up as, like, as I said earlier, something that they were expecting. This is why I feel like whatever happened was very hurtful. Because it's almost like they're like, hey, if that happened to me, I would have been out too. And that's so cruel, in my opinion. I feel like for you to do things to others that you feel like you will never be able to handle is crazy, you know? And I don't know, the only problem that I had was just that people will constantly act like a victim, and, you know, me, things happen to me, but then, you know, you show them true, genuine love, and it's like, God, now you're the victim. So yeah, maybe you felt like pity for someone, and then that pity drove you into being that person's victim. And you switched up in a way where you decided that you weren't going to be this person's therapist, or, you know, their Jesus rescuer Superman. You know what I mean? Somebody here could have grown up with very, very strict parents that could have sucked your whole life dry. And maybe you just always felt bad for your parents because of their upbringing and their own childhood, and it led you to deal with things that were just too much because you pitied your parents. But then their actions towards you when you stood up for yourself were more like you were the villain, like you were like a big monster to them, or like they were ruthless with the way that they came at you, you know, after years of controlling your whole life. And that could be resonating for someone in specific, not everyone. Loss of control here. And let me tell you, whatever that you went through, pile number one, you were in the right. Because for a card like this to show up for a switch up is crazy. It's like, you had to do what you had to do. You had to move on. You had to switch up on these people. You had to put yourself first. Let's see. How does my pile number 1, how do people perceive pile number 1 switch up? How do people perceive pile number 1 switch up? How do people, we have here miracle in reverse. People could be perceiving your switch up as a nightmare, or more like a tower moment, or like a destruction. Somebody here really took pleasure in like controlling something that had to do with you, whether controlling your emotions, controlling your life, controlling your decisions, or just controlling the situation, period, with you. It's time for a treat. So people are perceiving your switch up as basically you moving on to a space where you're mostly pampering yourself, or much more thinking about yourself in a selfish manner than thinking about other people. It's like you're finally living your life in a way. You're finally living your life after years of being in an abusive marriage with someone that just wanted to control you and use their traumas to control you and make you feel bad for them. But the whole time, they're making you feel bad. You're the villain here. People are also perceiving your switch up to be basically a new beginning, a new point in your life, a new start, a new fresh, to be the strong, independent person that you really are. People are perceiving the switch up as like you're finally getting to know yourself. You're finally awakened to the person that you are. You're finally awakening to your true power, your true essence, and how much in control you actually are than what you think. People are not very fond of your switch up, pile number 1, because people felt comfortable controlling the situation when it had to be with you. People felt comfortable always acting like a victim near you. You get what I mean? And you allowing them to vent, you allowing them to use you, abuse you financially, mentally, physically, and they're always the victim in the situation. I'm gonna hit my witch's deck for a couple more messages, and then we're gonna do my thoughts card, and then we'll be done from there. Let's see here. How are people perceiving my pile number 1 switch up? Let's find out. How are people perceiving my pile number 1 switch up? That's crazy. 6 of Swords again. People are perceiving your switch up as if you're done. You're moving on to a better chapter, better place, better man, better woman, better life, better opportunities. King of Cups. People are perceiving your switch up to be very like easy in a way, because maybe people felt like since you were controlled for so long and abused for so long that you were never gonna have like your own personality, or you were just never gonna feel like yourself ever again. It's like someone felt like they had like robbed you of your essence, or like robbed you from who you truly are. And people are now perceiving this switch up as something inevitable, and then also something that has put you up on a pedestal, and also have brought you together with who you really are as a person. It's almost like igniting like the sense of confidence within you. Queen of Swords, yeah. People are perceiving this switch up to be due to you wanting to place more boundaries, due to you respecting yourself more, and you not fooling around anymore with everyone and everything. Okay? So yeah, pile number 1. I also felt in a way in my personal life like that a lot of people will be so cool in the beginning, and then when I would like allow them in my life, like they would just shit on it. I always felt that way, and it led me to like keep this distance with people. And you might think that keeping the distance with people will keep it closer or like keep it there just because you're not testing anything. But it does the same thing as if it does the same thing as if you weren't even around them, because it does the same thing. Like, it's not going anywhere. You get what I mean? How do I explain it? Like, I enjoyed having distant friendships until I realized, okay, I like distant friendships because I felt like they were safer. They were safer. They couldn't hurt me. They couldn't bully me. You know, they're not that close to me. They can't just come in and call me a bitch or, talk about me. They can't do that because we're not that close. So they'll be a friend for many years. But what you don't realize is that connection already lacking in depth, it's already bound to not work out. You get what I mean? And then later on, you're just excluded because you're just not close to the person. So I used to think distance will always mean safer, but it was never safer. It was never safer. What it is, guys, you just gotta, every connection you just go in, you just gotta go in with unconditional love. You cannot go in feeling past traumas, feeling nothing. But I will say, you will always be tested. So I'm not saying treat people in arm's length all the time, but also don't jump on people. And 3, watch the signs. The universe will keep repeating lessons when it comes to people as long as we don't change. They will come in different ways, in different people, in different places. Those same issues will continue to come up if they're triggering and you can't get over it. Now me, yes, as I said again, one of my biggest troubles in life was having meaningful connections because I felt like everyone I would let in would abuse it. But what I learned is that loving is easy, and loving yourself is easier. And once you love yourself, there is nothing in this world that cannot be resolved. There is nothing in this world that can happen to you where you won't be there to pick yourself up at this time. So yes, relationships, friendships with people is all a gamble. But at the end of the day, we just have to know that wherever we're going, we will be there for ourselves. We will be there. And we will be there to also guide our own selves through our wisdoms and our own experiences. Now, let's see, how are these people feeling with my pal switch up? Let's see, how are these people feeling? And warning, very explicit. Let's see, how are people feeling about my pile number 2 switch up? How are people feeling about my pile number 2 switch up? How are people feeling about my pile 2 switch up? 5 at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the end we have, I'm fake. So people are perceiving your switch up as if you're like being fake or you're starting to become fake. Let them think whatever, man. I hurt you on purpose. So people are perceiving your switch up to be, they think that you're trying to hurt them on purpose. Like someone here thinks that you're trying to like come for their ego like they came for yours. Stay with me, please. People are perceiving like this change or your switch up like in a way like they want you to beg for them. Like they think that you're setting boundaries and sticking up for yourself because you want them to beg on their knees for you. I want to be like you. Yeah, they think that you're trying to be like them now. Yeah, they think you're trying to be all rough like them, but it's not going to work, whatever. Being around you makes me mad. So people are really upset about your switch up. Like it's almost given like hater. They're really mad now that you like kind of changed on people, and then I'm sorry for hurting you. Also, they feel like you kind of want to like drag an apology out of them in a way. It's the type of people that they know that they're wrong, but they could care less to come forward and apologize. And then they will think you're manipulating them into wanting an apology. But the whole time, you're owed an apology. But they think you're manipulating them for them to apologize to you. Look at this narcissistic pile of dog shit. Like, what is this? This is ridiculous, guys. If you're dealing with anybody that is having you confused, they're a narcissist. Watch out. And if you feel like you're going crazy, if you feel like you have to Google situations or chat GPT situations to, you know, maybe you feel like you're going crazy, you're dealing with a narcissist. Get away immediately. And I don't know who needed to hear that, but that's all for today. Thank you so much for clicking on this reading. Bye, guys. So for the viewers that clicked pile number 2, let's find out, how are people perceiving your switch up? And someone's name could be Ruby, or like the color red in another language. I don't know why. Somebody's family could be from the red, from a Red Sea. What is that? I don't know, guys. Is there a Red Sea or is it the Yellow River? I forgot. But someone might be from like around like in a historical lake or like body of water, something like that. Maybe even a tropical island. How are people perceiving your switch up? Well, we have here the 4 swords. People been seeing you switch up, so this is not nothing new with you. Pile number 2. You've been switching up on these haters. Like, you've been switching up on people, and I feel like you've been switching people up like underwear. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in like, I know my worth and I'm not gonna settle. You thought you could play with me, but you don't know who I am. It's just very funny. You could be like a full-blown comedian here. You could be a comedian. You could be very funny naturally. I feel like somebody here also has like really big teeth, but like super straight and cute. I also feel like somebody here really loves laughing. Did I say that already? Yeah, I said you were funny, but like somebody here really loves laughing as well. People are really not looking at your switch up in a like crazy way, like, oh my God, they changed. No, because I feel like you've always been someone transformational. Like, you've been around, not in that way, I'm sorry. Like, maybe you've had different friend groups. Maybe you had different aesthetics. You know, you switched your career probably like 3-4 times, you know. Who's counting? Who cares, right? You could be someone that's just always transforming your vibe, transforming your hair, transforming your light, transforming the way you speak, the way you interact with others. You're just like constantly changing and like glowing, and like honestly, people are not surprised of your switch up or this energy that you got going on now. Let's see here. 5 of Cups. People might perceive your switch up to be something that is due to an extreme amount of disappointment. People can view your switch up as you moving in trauma. But wait, hold it. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I'm not done yet. And the reason why people feel like you move in trauma is because maybe you have like this really big, selfish, distant, kind of cold energy. And you might not see it that way because you think, oh my God, but I'm so bubbly. I'm so happy. I'm just like always smiling. And I say hi to everybody. Like, what's going on? Like people love me. Like, you know, you confuse people, Patu. You confuse people because they almost don't know what you want out of them. They don't know if you want an intimate connection or you just don't care for them. And so people feel like your lack of closeness with everyone around you because people talk. You have a reputation of having a lack of closeness with people, maybe due to the fact that you're either not interested, you've been disappointed, or because like they think you're moving in a traumatic way of thinking. Maybe you feel like giving people access to you is just too much work. But then you complain that you feel lonely, or you feel like, wow, people don't look for me. But you might not look for people either, right? People view your switch up as intentional. Maybe someone that's been hurt and just doesn't want to feel hurt anymore. Or just someone that knows their place. Right? This is all about how people are perceiving it, Pal 2. Don't think that this is what's actually happening. Although for some people, some things might connect. But this is much more what people perceive your switch up to be. I believe your switch up is due to you being disappointed, or you thinking people are a certain way, but they're not. And maybe you don't agree with certain things, and so you close off. So I would say that people do take your switch up a little personal, but not too much to heart. And because you have such a good attitude, it balances the situation. It doesn't make people feel completely like crap or like they don't belong around you. Yeah, but people perceive your switch up to be something about like a personal development, personal growth, like a personal journey. I would say for this group, it's like half and half. Like some people might take it personal, like, wow, they really don't like me. Or like some people are like, oh, they're just like that. And, you know, they're just someone that is just a busy person. They're just worried about their own well-being and what they got going on. They don't really care about anybody else. Some people are accepting your switch up. People are not they're not confused or like surprised with it. You could have been someone that a lot of people remember as like coming in and leaving quickly, or like someone that just doesn't last too long in a place. You don't last too long anywhere. You could be a big air sign. I'm sorry. Like, I just relate to you too much. Like, I feel like I feel naked being in your energy right now, because I feel like almost we have like the same type of mentality in a way, Pal 2. You don't last anywhere too long. That's how people perceive your switch up. They're perceiving your switch up just as you being you. Like, you just being who you are. If you felt like you weren't being mysterious enough, or like people didn't know you enough, you're right. Okay, you are super mysterious. And people definitely don't know you as much as they wish they would. Let's get more cards, because I feel like these are not like really like, you know, busting right now. But Pal 2, you have a talent of confusing people. And I feel like you don't like anything vague. You don't like anything. It's like for you, it's deep or nothing. It's deep or it's nothing. And I feel like a lot of people that are feeling the switch up are people that really mean nothing to you. As cruel as it might sound, they just don't matter. I wouldn't want to be on that side. Because I feel like, Pal 2, you are actually somebody that brings a lot to the table. A lot of you guys are super intelligent, have really bright ideas, very creative, have your own personality. I feel like you're the type of people that you create groups. You don't just join a group, you create them. I get a lot of like leadership here as well. You can have your own business, or you could just be someone that just likes to make your own money on the side. We have here, you miss someone. People perceiving your switch up in a way where some people are actually missing you. People are actually missing your vibe, missing who you are. But I feel like Palo 2 is like, yeah, everybody misses me, but nobody really thinks about the things that they do. I feel like you got about like a millisecond to play with Palo number 2 until Palo number closes their door on your life. I feel like till this day, there's people in your life that probably don't know that you've cut them off because you're just keeping them there. It's like a way of like, Palo number 2 is not going to tell you that they don't like you. They're not going to show you that they don't like you. They're just not going to give you that much importance. They're just not going to come around you as much. They're just not going to, you know, they're not going to be on this tit for tat with you. Palo 2, people are perceiving your switch up to be messy. But I really feel like you're not trying to be messy. You're not trying to make people feel bad about themselves. You're just trying to move towards people that appreciate you. And not only can you be a big air sign, you can be somebody who can be a big Leo, because people are confused by your switch up again because they don't know if you like them or not. And I feel like them being confused is their answer. I don't like you. Palo 2, you're mean. You're mean, but I like this mean because this is not the mean that's is out to get people's self-esteem. This is the mean that is protecting themselves and basically setting standards for their own life. People miss you because you're a vibe, but I feel like you switch up on people when you feel like enough is enough, or like when you see that it's not going anywhere, or maybe you feel like they're a succubus, I don't know what that is. I don't know. A succubus, a destiny swapper. Oh my God. I'm not trying to bring tea, but I really need to start talking about the situations I go through because, guys, last year, it was like before I got pregnant. No, I was pregnant. I met a destiny swapper, and I didn't think I was ever gonna. No, actually, I've met like maybe like 2, 3, 4 destiny swappers before. I feel like out of all my destiny swappers, maybe like 2 were successful. But baby, I know the signs. But oh my God, last year I had this destiny swapper, and they were really like flabbergasted that I cut them off. It's like, sweetie, did you not think that I was just gonna see what you were doing? Like, it's crazy. So a lot of these people that don't know that you just don't care about them, Palo number 2, that they're like, you know, stuck like in the loop or like confused, they just probably don't know what they did to maybe create a distance between you. But I could definitely say by just viewing the energy, Palo 2, you're not the problem. Honestly, I don't see you're the problem. I just see that you can cause problems for other people mentally, just because like people just don't know where they stand with you, when you could just like be very like cold cut, like. And honestly, it's weird because you're a sweetheart. I really don't know how you balance it. I know how you balance it. You're just silent. We have here the signs are with you already. So people are perceiving your switch up as if like the signs are there already. Like, baby, they've been switching up. They switch up on everybody and people in their own lives. And they switch up on their careers. They switch up on their, you know, on their aesthetics. They switch up on everything, you know. And Palo 2 is just very funny here with you guys. You're like this rainbow kid. You're just like collecting good vibes and good experiences. And it's just like, where it's not there. It's just like, well, it was fun while it lasted. Now let me get out, you know? And the same thing with the destiny swapper. Like, oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, what a cool friend. It was good while it lasted. I learned a couple things from them, but I gotta go, man. I gotta go before this shit get crazy. I gotta go before things get bad. I gotta go. But I'm not gonna lie, that person was being very scary. They were being very scary, and it was just very confusing because They try to make it confusing. They were trying to make it seem as if they liked me, but then trying to figure out my life from top to bottom while giving me nothing about theirs and being like a little bit of animosity. It's like, you know, give me all your info and here's a tree. And then, you know, when there's time to give up the info, it's like, you know, here's another tree. Forget about me. How can I explain it? So the reason I thought that person was a destiny swapper was because they just wanted to figure everything out about me, and in a very crazy way. And it got to the point where the person was so comfortable that I think they made a comment about one of my parents. And I was just like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, girl, you are crossing the line. Like, Jesus. Like, what is wrong with you? And so they made like a very nasty comment about one of my parents, and I didn't take it lightly. And then the way that they were like, talk to me, like, you're the only one that wears makeup at work. Okay. So again, like, it was just like little things, but I can say for the biggest part, it was just like, they want to know everything about you, but they just cannot be honest about themselves. And another thing that I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys, that I also realized that I was very wrong about. That person told me right away who they were, but I felt because they didn't hurt me, it wasn't me, that they would never do it to me. And that's the problem with a lot of us. Oh yeah, my friend, she loves married men. You know, my homeboy, he likes just to treat his girlfriend like a piece of, you know what I mean? Like, you accept people for the way they are in your life without judging their actions because you think that you're free from you're free from those. Oh my God, how can I put it? You feel like you're safe from them because you're cool with them and they're telling you the business and they did that to somebody else, but that's not you. I'm sorry to tell you, but they're telling you who they are. And you're not safe. You're not Jesus. You're not. And yeah, and the thing is, the biggest thing, if you have values, guys, if there's certain things that you just won't tolerate, you would never do that in your life to somebody. Don't have people in your life that would do that. Oh yeah, they steal, but they're stealing from them, not me. Baby, please, you're not special. I mean, yeah, we're all special, but like, we're not special in a way where people won't do it to us. Okay? We have your glamour, intrigue, and drama. People are perceiving this switch up to be quite dramatic. I feel like a lot of you guys have switched up your aesthetic, like 360. 360 changed your whole aesthetic. You're finally stepping into who you really actually are, and people are just thinking that it's like a force. It's like for show, much more rather than actually being who you are. But it's very like glamorous. It's like intriguing. I quite will say, you know, you might walk away from people and make them, you know, be irrelevant in your life, you know, just to get them off your case and just have them not worry or look at you or copy you or just think about you and like, yeah, let me just get away so that maybe they could just like forget about me and not try to bother me or anything, or, you know, stuck on me. But guys, you just make it, guys, those people still end up obsessed with you. They just still end up like just wanting to copy and be you. Like, they just end up just, yeah, your switch up could be feeling disappointing for some people that actually thought that you liked them or wanted them in your life. But I feel like you have people confused, and I'm not saying you're a bad person or you're a Debbie Downer, or you're just someone that leads people on. I just feel like you see people for who they are, and you're not going to waste time for people just because they like you or they're your friend, or you might think that they're your friend. You know, a lot of people are just not your friends. A lot of people, we're just here, we're just acquaintances, we're just brothers and sisters of this, you know, of the universe. But, you know, not everybody's really your friend. And the more you love yourself and the more you start to, you know, the way you're going, pile number 2, it's like the less tolerance you will have. If I think back to the tolerances that I had back in the day, I'm just thinking about it myself, I wouldn't have any friends. If I would have had the standards that I have now for people, I wouldn't have had no friends in the past. None. I'm thinking about every friend I've ever had. I would have never had any friends in the past that I had. But guess what, guys? Through those experiences, like I told pile number 1, through those experiences, we then notice and realize the signs, and life just always becomes better. Your switch up could also be causing drama within people, because maybe even in groups, it's like, I don't know who did what to what, but I feel like they're not coming around because you said that. I feel like they're not coming around because you did that. I feel like they're not coming around because you told them that time that was a stupid idea. So you got people here blaming themselves for your absence or your switch up with them. Like, whoa, that's crazy. And pile number 2 is just like, well, I don't care who did what. I'm not coming around no more. Let's see here. How is pile 2? How are people perceiving pile 2 switch up? Also, glow up. Your switch up could also have to do with like a glow up, or like even a glow up with your personality or your maturity as well. Let's see here. How was my pile number 2 being perceived? How is my pile number 2 switch up? How is everyone perceiving my pile number 2 switch up? People are perceiving your switch up to be the talk of the town. Maybe you could have been somebody that was always in the scenes, everywhere, even where people didn't like you, even when you didn't like people, just everywhere. It reminds me of like me as well. Again, let me talk about myself real quick here with my friends on YouTube. But I was always in the scenes, always outside, always in like parties, neighborhoods, hood parties, whatever. Being around people that I didn't like, people that I knew didn't like me, people that I knew wouldn't have my back. You know, just surrounding myself with like just all types of people because, you know, I'm popping and I'm letting everybody know me, yay. And so now I've gotten to the point where I'm really much unreachable. I feel like I was now looking through my Snapchat and I realized that I actually knew so many other people that I have forgotten about throughout the years because I have really like disassociated anything that had to do with my past with this new version of myself. But I'm here to say, what I'm trying to say here, pile number 2, is that your switch up has really been something that has been talked about a lot amongst others because it was just a dramatic switch as well. I know earlier I said that, you know, you've been transforming for a while, but again, yes, you have been transforming for a while, but it doesn't mean that people don't notice everything. People are noticing every little thing, you know, and if you feel like you don't have any stalkers, pile 2, I'm here to tell you, sweetheart, start writing a book because you do. So your switch up is what's most talked about because your glow up could have been very inspirational, or the switch up was very inspirational. Remember, guys, that the switch up could also been changes in your aesthetics, changes that make people just gravitate towards you or just have like a keen interest in you. So I see that as well. I see like your switch up also being like almost inspirational again. Like people kind of want to imitate those changes or those transformations. And since you're always someone that's transforming, people are constantly waiting for that next change, that next great thing that you got going on. With the 10 of Wands, yeah, people are not taking like this switch up because it's almost like you're putting a lot of people in the back burner. And those people that once probably thought that they had one over on you, or they were wiser or mightier, or like they had control over a situation, or they was just, you know, they're now feeling the rough end of the stick of your switch up with them. Okay, maybe some people didn't appreciate you enough. Maybe people counted you out and constantly took you for granted. And maybe you are very forgiving, but your switch up is almost like haunting them just because you kind of outdid yourself a little bit, pal two. I think you took your self-love journey very seriously. And with the Four of Swords, again, we got the Four of Swords. You know, it's just, it was something that was bound to happen. And not even bound to happen, was just like people just expected nothing else from you because you're always transforming. You're just constantly looking better or doing better. So it's almost like they expected you to move to better people or even move to better things or move to better experiences. And you could have been attracted to pile one, but if not, it's okay. Let's see here. How are people feeling about my pile number 2 switch up? How are people feeling about my pile number 2 switch up? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have here, I watch your social media again. You got stuck. So people are keeping up with your switch up. People are keeping up with you regardless if you switched up on them. Like, they're still watching your social media, exes, ex-friends, old people, flings. I love your breast. Maybe somebody did some cosmetic surgeries and like these people are loving the switch up on the girls. We have here, I feel guilty. I told you some people feel guilty because maybe people always saw you transform and shit on others and they just didn't think their time was up or it was going to be their turn. I see you're glowing. People feel like you're constantly glowing up or like the switch up is now like definitely making you glow or look better. We have here, my family hates you. So somebody feels like your switch up was inevitable because you got a lot of hate from maybe a group of people or a family or just people around you. You got a lot of hate towards you. So it's like it was inevitable that you were going to transform on them too, just how you transformed on everybody in your past. And then I'm jealous. They're feeling jealous about this switch up. You're looking unfazed, untouchable, unreachable, cute. Come on, man. Full package. And then on top of that, like, again, not everybody is able to access this new switch up or this new you. So that's all that I'm getting here. Thank you so much for clicking on this reading. Bye, guys. People are viewing your switch up as a change of perspective, more of a change of like wisdom or clarity as well. It's like removing the binds from someone's eyes. Maybe for a long time, you thought somebody like really loved you. You could have been like an on and off relationship with someone for like a very long time. And if it's just not love, it could have been like a friend or a family member that you were very close to on and off for years, or maybe even like someone that you weren't clear about. And it could have also been someone that you were very warned about, but maybe you couldn't really see it. Some people here in this pile are suffering through a lot of anger with themselves. And it could be because maybe you felt like you spent a long time without seeing the reality of things, or maybe you just didn't wake up on time. But I'm just here to let you know it all happened at the perfect time. And you just can't blame yourself for not knowing better. You could just learn from that. Now, let's see here. The Strength. So people are viewing your switch up as someone taking control over their lives, or someone that's finally standing up for themselves and for what they believe in and what they want. I feel like something about divorces are like illegal. I don't know why I've heard that. Like maybe divorces are like looked down upon in your town, in your family, or something like that. And maybe you kind of felt like you were stuck in a wall or in a cage in a way. There was something that you wanted to do that was looked down upon very badly. And maybe you had the courage to do it, but you felt like you took too long once you did. People are viewing your switch up as being mischievous or sneaky or undermined. This is not the part where people are taking your switch up in a nice way. For a lot of you guys, it's almost like people are looking at your switch up as very calculated, very undermining, very sneaky. You could have gotten revenge on someone the same way that they did something to you. And this is why your switch up is looking as calculated. You could have felt like maybe you were wrong in getting revenge or doing something that you did. Or like maybe you were wrong because the actions were wrong or proved a lack of loyalty in some place. But what if I tell you that you can't feel bad for not doing something that was never even done for you in the beginning? How can you feel bad for not being loyal to someone that has never been loyal to you? You switched up on people here, but this is not about a glow up. This is not cutting off people. This is an actual switch up. This is someone that has inevitably did something to someone to prove a point. This is a Lifetime movie here, pile 3. I can't. If this doesn't resonate, please go back and pick another pile, but you really did someone really badly. And I also heard a group of people. You really did something very bad. Well, something that they consider bad, but it's almost like they can't really blame you for it because it's almost like it was bound to happen, or it was like something that they deserved, low-key. I also feel like people didn't think you had the balls for this switch up. You could have switched up on someone that you really cared about, or people that you cared about, or people that you were trying to make it work with. This is crazy. Let me pick up more cards. Can you clarify? How are people perceiving my pile 3? Did I pick 4 cards by accident? I did. Count your blessings. Yo, these people like are making you look sinister. It's almost like someone here did something that people did not expect them to do. It's almost like you made people count their blessings. We have here stifled, bored, and stuck. People are viewing your switch up because maybe you felt stuck, or they viewed you as someone that couldn't take the blindfolds off your face, as I said. And that's why they feel like you're switching up, or you switched up because you're finally seeing the truth about things, or you're finally realizing the things. I heard long overdue. Maybe you took a while to do this after what had happened. And this is why this could be a bit shocking. So yeah, it's like maybe it took a while to do what you had to do, but that's why people felt like maybe you were like bored because of the switch up, or you switched up because you were like stuck in a mental loop. We have here Aloha Healing in reverse. So people are viewing your switch up as in like you're salty, or like you've been mad about something, or like you're revengeful, like you're spiteful. Working too hard. People feel like your switch up, you just went too hard on it. You went too hard on that switch up. I just see someone like just switching up on everyone, revealing everybody's secrets, Like, just like a crazy switch up here. You could have switched up on people and literally gotten them fired from their jobs. Like, you could have switched up on people and revealed secrets that probably are, you know, you ruined reputations with whatever you did. Like, you ruined reputations. You took your personality back. I don't know why I heard that. Like, you snatched your life, your personality back from these people or this person, like no other. Like, if they were like a rat in the corner, like they were your enemy for years, like the way you switched up on these people was almost like jaw-breaking. But I do see that, you know, I heard enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like, this was long. This was long overdue. This was long overdue. You've made people realize that you weren't really dumb after all. You didn't really have a blindfold after all. You knew exactly where you were. You knew exactly where you were going through, and you knew exactly how people felt about you. You were just playing along just like them. And before they knew it, you stroke. Let's see. How are people viewing my pile number 3 switch up? How are people viewing my pile 3 switch up? Somebody here could have also probably been in the military. You probably switched up on maybe somebody in the military, like some sort of like sergeant. I don't know. Like, you can maybe stop respecting someone the way you used to because they didn't respect you and they kind of took you for granted. Six of Wands in reverse. Yeah. People are not perceiving your switch up lightly. It's almost a lot of bad talk. It's almost a lot of like assumptions. And people just really think that you feel like you're uppity, you're above the program, or like you feel like you're better than them in a way. Like, the way that you're acting due to the switch up is like you feel like you're better than them. You are letting them know that they're below you, in a sense, that they don't belong in your life anymore. Like, they don't belong in your perfect, pretty life anymore. So you're making people definitely feel a little bit insecure because they don't feel like they're enough to be in your circle or to be in your bubble or to be forgiven and accepted again. I just feel like pile 3 also, through the switch up, people have realized that you're actually who you think you are. You're actually way much more better than what they thought you were. You're someone much more magnifying than, or magnetizing. You're much more magnetizing than they thought you were. You were smarter than what they thought you were. You were more creative than they thought you were. Whatever they thought you were, you completely blew their minds about who they thought you were. They kind of felt like you were a mat. They kind of felt like, you know, they could have definitely constantly disappointed you, and it was just gonna all be rubbed under the mat due to the connection, due to the years of knowing each other, due to, you know, where you work at. It just felt like something that was never going to end. And that you were like a little oblivious fool, pile 3. But unfortunately, you proved to these people with your switch up that you're actually the high priestess. You're actually, you know more than what you let on. Yeah, you might be 3 steps ahead, but I'm 5. Like, there's no coming around pile 3. And yeah, honestly, pile 3, they had it coming. They had it coming because, you know, there's just so much you could do to someone that's forgiving and has a good heart up until they explode and you've lost all chances with them. Let's see. How are people perceiving my pile 3 switch up? How are people perceiving my pile 3 switch up? Could also been like a sibling for somebody here that you switched up on recently because you felt like your sibling just constantly would treat you like you're like a bottom feeder. Let's see here. How are people feeling about my pile numbers 3 switch up? Let's go. 5 at the end. I think about you, so these people are constantly thinking about you due to the switch up. That's what I'm seeing. I can't fight. Somebody here is scared of you, and this is why they're not standing up about the switch up that happened. So maybe there was somebody that you felt like they will always have like this gangster energy, or like this loud, aggressive energy with you that they wouldn't have with other people. But then as soon as you switch up with them, that energy faded because they know that they can't come against you. I talk ish because you're better than me. So people are feeling like your switch up was actually expected due to the fact that they do talk ish and they are jealous in a way, and they could have shown you that multiple times. I want to have sex with you, so it looks like, yeah, somebody here that you switched up on, they definitely still miss your body, still think that they can control you. You guys know better. I'm faithful, so you switching up is actually showing people like the lack of morals that they have. And if, believe it or not, you might not get people to act right again with you because maybe you just get rid of them forever. But sometimes we don't realize this, but sometimes even cutting somebody off could be a lesson for that person's own growth. So what I'm getting here is that people feel like your switch up has taught them things. So yeah, it's almost like you're helping people grow in their own way while you're cutting them off, or you're switching up. This switch up is making people realize where they're lacking as people and where they could be better. Now with I manipulate you, people feel like your switch up is a way for you to manipulate the situation and look like you're in control over everyone. But I genuinely feel like you don't care what they think, because at the end of the day, if anything, they've been manipulating the situation for the whole time, and you're now standing up for yourself. But they're too weak to realize that. Your switch up is letting them know that they can't manipulate the situation anymore. They can't manipulate you, your thoughts, your feelings, and the situations anymore, because you're in control now and you know exactly who they are. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for clicking on this reading. Bye, guys.